Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another daily vlog. Maybe I'm a little bit hectic because I have a couple of errands to do, but this kind of drives home the fact that you can kind of squeeze in a daily vlog into your busy work schedule. Today's vlog is all about mental health, and I'm not going to do this little intro that I've been doing in the last few 5 or 6 vlogs, where I kind of introduce myself, that many of these, let's say, how to grow your YouTube channel videos kind of tell you, hey, you need to introduce yourself because the viewer doesn't know you. And I'm not a channel that is all about growth. I'm telling you how and why you should start YouTube, or more specifically a vlog channel. And what I noticed is there are a couple of things that I noticed. The first one is that I noticed the videos as soon as I did that somewhat introduction in the beginning, telling, hey, my name is Bo, I'm a film editor, blah, blah, blah. To some degree, the video felt more of this typical YouTube, in air quotes, professional way. And therefore, from a perception, it feels less personal and less authentic because it has this business vibe to it. And rewatching those couple of vlogs, I felt like this is not what I wanted to do on this channel. And I would, although all of these channels that kind of promise you that you grow fast, and I'm not promising that at all. They tell you that that is a good idea. And I do understand the reasoning, but for these types of vlogs where simplicity is key, to kind of underline the authenticity, to create a personal connection, to kind of drive home the fact this is all about you and me, and more specifically, this is a vlog, so it's about me, so YouTube, so it's about you who is making the video. I feel like these introductions kind of work against what we try to achieve with these kind of personal, simple vlogs that kind of hopefully show authenticity and personality. And that is why I'm not going to do these introductions anymore. So that was the first reason. The second reason is, and I don't know if there is a correlation between that, but I feel like since I started these introduction in the beginning, I have less views on these videos, which is weird, but I do believe that this may be a little bit because this is so business-like and somewhat like a professional talk, and I feel, I don't want to do that. However, I feel there is a different or another correlation to why the views are less. In the last few vlogs, I was on the thumbnail a little bit less lively, let's say it that way, and I was talking about things that were bothering me, so stress and business issues, as you've been seeing in the last few videos. So I kind of see it being a reason why there are less views. I can understand that. Why do you want to watch someone who's kind of mopey and is complaining about life? But I do feel it is important to share what is bothering you. This is about being a personal vlog. This is about you making videos and sharing what's going on in your life. So I will continue doing that, and I do believe it is okay to feel down and kind of share that. I just assume that people are less inclined to click on a video if they have their own issues in their lives anyway, and they don't want to kind of consume stress or what's bothering or what's going on stressful in other people's lives. So I don't blame them. I can totally understand that and totally can relate. I mean, I like to watch like dumb, in air quotes, action movies to kind of escape my stressful life. So I don't want to watch necessarily then stressful other stuff. With some people I do. I really applaud, for example, I hope that is okay. I mean, you put out the video. Drew, for example, he shared a really personal stressful story in his last 1 or 2 vlogs ago, and I have so much respect for that he shared that. So that is really cool. And yeah, again, I'm not saying I'm not going to share anything negative anymore. I'm just saying that that might have been the reason why my last videos weren't performing that well. However, don't forget, all of these videos are not about the numbers. Look at the video that I made, how to stay sane on YouTube. That is so important, to not stress about the numbers, the subscriber count, the view count, and stuff like that. Don't do that. Don't look at the analytics too much. So, staying with the topic of mental health, that is really a very important topic that is dear to my heart, because I'm not going to share a solution here. I'm just going to share something about mental health. When I was younger, I was suffering 2 burnouts in my life that were really rough. The first one I kind of ignored and thought about, oh, I just gonna take a vacation for 1 week. And then went back to work, and then I crashed hard. I had a really rough time and I had a terrible burnout. Went to therapy. Unfortunately, the therapist that I had back then for that burnout wasn't that great. And it was okay, but yeah, it wasn't great. Many years later, I was also suffering some mental health, not issues, but I was really struggling with family issues and stress at work, in terms of not stress of the work itself, but of the workload. So it was really taxing on my mental health then I started to do therapy, and I'm a huge advocate of therapy. I feel like you need to go to therapy, or not to need. I think it's highly recommended to go to therapy from time to time, because even if you, in air quotes, don't have that many issues, what I like about therapy is, obviously, just like going to the dentist to do a checkup, you are checking up on your mental health. Just like you sometimes go to the doctor just to see, I have some issues, some slight issues with a cough or my knee. The doctor also checks you up, and that's the same thing with mental health. Furthermore, people sometimes say, oh, you just need to talk. You can talk with your friends or with your family about your issues. However, what I noticed is that in the past, not now, but sometimes now, when you talk to friends or family, either they don't understand, because they just can't relate to the issues that you're having, or they somewhat judge you. For example, oh, that's not that big of a deal. You can get through this, or yeah, you just need to push through. That's okay. And while that is okay advice, it's not great advice. And with a therapist, or going to therapy, when you sit there, you suddenly realize, okay, this is a completely unknown person to me. At the beginning, that's weird. But then you start to realize, oh, I can open up because that person isn't judging me. That person looks at my issues from an objective perspective, from a professional perspective. And for me, that kind of switch helped me to open up much more easily, because I knew that that person knows what he or she is talking about, and B, that person isn't judging me, and C, isn't giving me unsolicited advice, which also happens a lot. I really dislike when people try to give me not advice, but it's like, oh, giving me their opinion. And then you ask them, and this is not necessarily in terms of mental health, but for example, yesterday I talked to someone that I really like Top Gun because of the filmmaking techniques that they used in that movie. And he was like, oh, that's such a stupid movie. You already know everything that is going on. And he was kind of not listening to what I was saying in terms of, I like that movie for the film techniques. And then I'm asking him, did you see the movie? And he was like, no, I didn't see it. And I'm like, why are you giving me your negative opinion about a movie from a perspective that I'm not actually trying to argument for why this movie is good, but you kind of argument against me saying that it's a terrible movie, although you've never watched it. And that's what I mean with unsolicited opinions, not advice, opinions. And I'm really annoyed by that when people try to give me their opinion, although they have no idea about that. Or, for example, I have people saying, oh, Dungeons and Dragons, that's so stupid. An adult person shouldn't play Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm told him, have you ever tried it? And he was like, no. Then why do you feel like you have the right to give me such a opinionated, negative argument that it is stupid that I play that? I really dislike that. Going back to mental health, having a therapist who's not judging you and who knows what he or she is talking about is so helpful. And yeah, I try to go to therapy on a regular basis. Unfortunately, now I haven't done it. I should do it, but I feel like my priority is right now money a little bit, and that is a terrible thing to say. Money in terms of being able to pay my rent. That is my focus right now. And now that I'm speaking it out loud, this huge deal with this client who's not paying me has stressed me so much mentally, but also from a pressure point. And now that I'm speaking it out loud, it's so stupid. I didn't want to go to therapy for the last few weeks just because I'm afraid to kind of pay for stuff that I don't need. And that is stupid. Now that you're right in the process or in a moment where I'm kind of changing my thoughts. For the last few weeks, I thought I cannot go through therapy because I cannot afford it, because I want to waste my money for stuff that I potentially don't need. But I do need therapy now that I talk about it. And that's not money wasted. Yeah. It's stupid, I know. Now that I think it out loud. I should go to her again and kind of talk about this stuff. Yeah, that's not wasted money. That was a stupid thought of me. Yeah, I don't have a real solution to this or a real end. I'm just saying mental health is really important, and you should take care of your mental health just like you take care of your teeth. You go to the dentist regularly to check it up, right? And that's the same thing with mental health. You should check it up from time to time. All right, if you want to see the video about staying sane on YouTube, which is also really important, check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and maybe consider subscribing and helping me to get to 1,000 subscribers this year by clicking the button up here. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.